please help me welcome Dr. Justina Onuma to the stand.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Yes, I know that we are standing in between your lunch and your tour, so we'll make sure that this session is as engaging as possible and as short as possible. So we are here to really delve into
This training program has been impactful in a way that we finished our entry level, and we have a cohort of over 20 participants, including policymakers that have actually been equipped in this space. And what I think about them is that they're more than just, they have gotten more than just knowledge, right? But there has been a shift in mindset towards evidence use, yes? There has been a shift in how they relate with the policymakers and with their fellow peers, and I think it's a very, very interesting piece of work.
Thank you very much. Amos, as a mediator, can you share with us as well some of the success stories as we build on Peter's capacity building efforts?
Thank you. First, I want to thank the Africa Evidence Network and also everyone who looked at my profile and cast their vote, and also those who are nominated in the mediators category, who had very impressive profiles as well. Straight to the point, for me, much of the work that I've done revolves around building the capacities of others to be able to exemplify and create the multiplier effect. So through the network of impact evaluation researchers in Africa, to test whether we can reduce the dosage of measles vaccine from 5 to 3. If this works, we'll be talking of a 40% savings in terms of savings and efficiency in utilization. But as I said, mine is to support that ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before we continue, I know that from the beginning of the conference through yesterday, we've learned that it's not capacity building, it's capacity strengthening or capacity development. So before Patrick, you come in, I don't want you to repeat capacity building. If you want to say anything about capacity building, please say capacity strengthening or capacity development. So yeah, you can actually share yours as well.
Thank you so much. Firstly, I want to join my colleague to appreciate everyone that voted for me in the evidence producer category, and even my colleague that kind of nominated me. I have kind of contested, over 2 times, and this time around I won, so I'm really glad. Thank you, everybody. I'm happy to be here. Yeah. So what I've done in the evidence-informed policymaking ecosystem in my community, I'm going to use my community. In my community, we have a primary health center, and I worked, before I got my lecturing appointment, I worked as the program manager in Okana West Community-Based Health Initiative. And what we do in Okana West Community-Based Initiative basically was to pool resources that we now identify the indigents, people that could not have access to health services. We now see how we can help them to have access to the health services. And while we are doing that, we also see how to involve the community to be part and parcel of the healthcare delivery, thereby strengthening the primary health center, which is the first point of call for any healthcare need. So we kind of, while we were doing that, there was increment in service uptake at the primary health center. Mostly women came for delivery. We're now having 24-hour services because we collaborated with Teaching Hospital Uyo, and they were sending doctors to come on daily basis to a primary health center, which is very uncommon in my country, Nigeria. So kind of people saw that as a trusted venue, and they were coming, and there were also drugs to attend to them. So when we now got this program, we had to engage the government it should not only be at community level. We should be able to have the state health insurance program that will help the state to achieve universal healthcare coverage 2030. And through what the data that we generated when I came on board, we were able to engage the government, the legislators. And before I left Okana for my new job, that's an academic job, in 2019, the bill was passed by the then House of Assembly for the establishment of Akwa Ibom State Primary Health Care Agency and Akwa Ibom State Health Insurance. And to me, this is one of the biggest achievements because people are now able to access healthcare services that are being covered. And when you get to facility, you are not to pay out of pocket, which is a problem in Africa and even in Nigeria. So to me, this is one of the biggest achievements I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. So for getting a bill passed, all know that it's not that easy. So yeah, congratulations on that success. Yes, Fabio.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, humbled for the award, and just to express that we take it as a energy boost to continue with the work that we're doing. I say we because I believe this award is a collaboration of everyone that is working at For Africa, the organization I'm representing, towards building really an integrated evidence system and trying to reshape the way that we do programming. So I joined For Africa close to 3 years ago with the challenge and a mission to create an evidence structure for a change in organization. So we're moving from emergency outputs to an impact goal of supporting 20 million Africans to become self-sufficient by 2032. I was very lucky to find a conducive environment and leadership open to innovation, heavily driven by our mission, heavily driven by our values. And what that challenge then led to was first defining this impact, defining this self-sufficiency, coming up with a monitoring framework for it. But most of all, trying to incorporate mechanisms which enable the communities to really have a voice in every stage of program development. So once we got done with that, we did the baseline, we then started working on the missing middle. So we had all the outputs, we now knew where we were in terms of impact, but we needed to create a narrative not just to inform our programming folks on how to improve programming, but also the community so that they could own their own trajectory, not just be data providers, but really be the agents, the actors, the owners of that development process. So we are monitoring and reporting back on 3 different levels of outcomes and really trying to tell a story through it. I think the prize, the award, is a symbol to us that we're on the right track to move really to tailored development plans built by each community, owned by each community, and tracked by each community themselves.
Thank you very much, Fabio. And to move to the next set of questions, Amos, I would like to quickly jump to you with the work that you are doing in terms of capacity building, capacity strengthening. Yes, capacity strengthening, capacity development, also trying to get funds for researchers with the people that are within your network. What are some of the practical challenges that you have faced in this journey, and how have you overcome such challenges within the space that you find yourself?
Thank you. I think, first of all, is a challenge that all of us know, that the use of evidence is good. It's just like taking vegetables, which is good, but everybody loves chocolate. So the fact that you've got all this evidence and you are trying to push it to the users in a two-way traffic system, so adoption many times because of the wicked problem, like there are so many factors that determines whether your findings will be accepted or not. The second one is working with multi-countries has got its own challenges, especially because different countries nuance or look at the same problem in different ways. When you attempt, for example, a collaborative research between two countries, say you want to do something on HIV self-testing in Kenya and Tanzania. If I go to Tanzania or come to Benin, I don't need a visa. But when I go to do the same research that has gone through IRB approvals and ethical reviews in one country, I have to repeat these ethical reviews almost in every country that I work in. And I look at that as an opportunity as well, and an opportunity because of discussions going around the Africa Union. I think the Science, Technology, and the Scientific Review Committee, something like, there's a committee around that's looking at some of these issues. Other challenges really relate to the usage of technology, especially because you want very quick results, and you are using technology that is not readily available to the many researchers that are there. And the issues of acceptance of these methodologies and communication to the different stakeholders. However, that again becomes an opportunity in the sense that tech also opens opportunity to scale your capacity strengthening efforts, as you put it. It gives you an opportunity to be able to achieve much more of what you want to do with less, and be efficient in the way you distribute and consume this information. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So Amos has highlighted multi-country kind of level challenge, trying to, even within the EIDM space, trying to impact across and the challenges that we face. And also I think the technology that he speaks about has to do more with the AI. The question is, if the policymaker can use the AI, then it means, does he really need us at a point in time? So I think it's one big challenge that once we know, we were discussing over lunch, if we begin to now think about ethical use of AI and the proper use of AI, I don't think that the policymaker will still want to say that they know AI, so they are not going to. There's a bit of capacity strengthening also within the use of technology that I think for those of us in the EIDM space, especially for those of us who went to the Innovation Hub, we could see the various tools that others are using for rapid synthesis. So it really behoves on us as EIDM practitioners to really also get used to these kind of technologies to make our jobs quite easy. So yes, Peter, your challenges.
Actually, I wanted to start from right there. As an evidence user, I'm trying to get the policymaker to appreciate the use of evidence. And that is quite something that has been a bit of a challenge. But I want to start off with earlier in my career, one of the major challenges was being rooted and grounded in the understanding of how the evidence ecosystem works. Yes, there are capacity strengthening efforts all over the place, right? But then if you, as I mentioned earlier, they are fragmented and they are giving you a piece of something that you can accomplish, yeah? But then I really did struggle with trying to find that base of understanding, but then having a foundational training within the evidence to policy training program, which was my solution, really did give me a very good understanding of that. And then one of the other issues that I faced as an evidence user, of course, that is very popular is access to evidence, yeah? As an evidence user, I want to get the best available evidence, yes? But then sometimes some evidence is behind this paywall, that paywall, and I really do appreciate all the connections I have gotten in this place for the access they are going to give me in the next couple of months. And also ACRES, who they're really working ahead to getting a lot more platforms. And finally, there is a sense of power imbalances when it comes to young evidence brokers, yeah? When we have having conversations with policymakers oftentimes, sometimes some policymakers may perceive you as being inexperienced, yeah, and they may not take you serious. And one thing I have realized that works is just being grounded in the knowledge around what you're talking about, and which has given me more confidence to speak as I ought to, and hence being received. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fabio. And just a very quick one. We have just 10 minutes to wrap up so that we can do the last takeaway messages. So if you can just do 1 minute for the challenges, and then we can go for the last wrap up. Thank you.
Sure, je vais essayer. So the challenge, I think the main challenge was coming into an organization that had 35 years of work, strong work in humanitarian, and trying to change that mentality to make it so that we are planning to the future. So a lot of change management, cultural change involved in this process of trying to get evidence to the tables where decisions were being made. As I said, I was lucky to have a strong leadership that believed in evidence, that believed in management by results. But of course, then you have the whole team that follows, and a lot of mediation was required. So really, I'm happy that today we're talking more about power and politics in the sessions that are happening here in the plenary. Because I think at the end, if we really want to be brokers, we need to understand which mechanisms are present there and that can make people change behavior, change decisions. Decisions are not all just made because of the understanding of the evidence. Politics involves a power struggle. There are other factors that are playing a role in those decisions as well. So once you understand people, you understand those mechanisms, influencing decision then becomes a little bit more clearer.
Yes.
Okay. I said that a bill was passed, and before I was able to engage the policymakers to passing the bill, it was a long, because before I came in, the bill was developed and they were about leaving, and someone needed to do something to ensure that the bill is passed before they exceed their term. So it involved lobbying. A lawmaker will not give you what you want, except you kind of lobby them in whatever way you can lobby them. That is the truth. And that was what I did. I told the speaker, okay, you guys pass the bill, we can come to your community and also have CBHI in your community. That was lobbying outside any other thing. Then in my present career as a lecturer, when you get to a farmer, because I like working with rural farmers, when you get to them to see how to get information from them, they ask for a tip. And you have to tip them sometimes when you have it. If you don't have it, you cannot tip them. That's Africa. And we have to be African sometimes to get what you have to get. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was a hot one. Yes, maybe it will be a discussion for another day. So quickly, I just want to have your last take-home message. And what I really want you really want to share with us is beyond this trophy. Because this trophy is just a symbol. It's just, in fact, I was telling somebody my trophy got broken just when it was delivered to me in Ntembe. So really beyond this trophy, what do you wish to bring to the table for within the EIDM space? Which role do you expect to play in the AEN? And then what do you expect the AEN to also do to support its cohort of champions to really do what we are supposed to do as evidence champions? So I'll pick it from Fabio, then just wrap it up as that. Thank you.
It's interesting that she asks us 3 questions and then asks us to be really quickly. So very, very briefly, I really hope that the awards can help me amplify the discussions around who is involved when we are talking about evidence used. We discussed a lot during these 3 days, evidence production, evidence translation, decision making, but evidence for who, right? There is still a strong focus on those producing evidence, those at the decision-making table, but I feel we are forgetting those that have the power to hold governments to accountability, that have the power to influence policies through their voices, through their voting, through the democratic systems. So we need to bring back citizens. We need to bring back the public to the discussion of evidence. And perhaps, as we were discussing yesterday, not to kill the policy brief, but perhaps change the audience, change the language so that we can have more people talking about a policy brief that speaks to them. So I really hope that AEN can support taking this dialogue and making us think about how can evidence become appealing to the mass public? How can evidence be then on TikTok?
What do you bring to the table, Fabio? What do you bring to the table as an evidence champion within the network?
I will be poking people so that we can have this conversation very seriously in many forums.
All right. Yeah, Patrick, yes.
Okay, because I'm in the evidence producer kind of ecosystem, and beside Mediator and user and something, I will keep on seeing how to collaborate with people that that will make the voice of the voiceless, that's the voice of the unheard farmers in the rural community to be heard, because their voices need to be heard, and their voices can only be heard when we have quality data from them. Their data is their voices. Their data should speak for them, because that's their evidence. That's the way they're telling government, this is what we want you to do for us, this is what you want you to do for us. So I'll look at collaborating with people to reach out to them and do what make the government see how to assist them and other people. Then for AEN, I also ask for their support. The youth have a wing. We that are no longer youth also create a wing for us. Because all these youth also will come to our side one day. So we also need a wing of our own, and also kind of need maybe a forum for people in research, forum for people in this, people in this, so that we can build a greater or more better network. Thank you.
Yes, 30 seconds.
Thank you. For me, it's profound with regard to inclusion, especially for African researchers within the space. We've just concluded a nice study around collaboration for inclusive development research, and looking at how can individuals at their level and at their citizenry level be involved in deciding the problem, getting it solved, and most importantly, defining the solutions in creative ways that speak to them.
Thank you very much, Amos.
Yes.
20 seconds.
Yes, okay. As simply as it is, I am going to continue preaching the gospel of evidence use, and I'm already talking to my peers. I've posted my award in all the groups. They're asking me, what is this? And I think we should continue working as partners, as champions, yes, and also mutual learning with the champions who have been here before.
Thank you very much. So mutual learning is very important. Advocacy is very important. And really making our voices heard as evidence champions. And also creating space for the old-ish, not the young-ish, that are also within the network. So thank you very much. Yes, we know we stood before your lunch, so we are done. And so we'd like to take a group photo for them. Please, let's put our hands together for them. And thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Justina, and our winners for sharing your insights and perspective. So we will continue now with an important moment for the Africa Evidence Network. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Rona, who will share a few announcements with us.
Thank you so much. We're coming to the end, yeah? Probably that's why I'm standing here. But maybe before we close and before we go off, to look at all these beautiful places we plan to, if you've been part of the network, which means even if it's, for a few hours, there's a few things that are very synonymous with the network, right? There is a name that you will have heard, over the years. If you haven't received an email from this person, something is terribly wrong. If you have not, had a conversation with her, again, something is terribly wrong, okay? This person has really nurtured the network. I don't remember a time without her, and yet she wasn't there from the beginning, but I don't remember the network without her. Join me in celebrating Siziwe, okay? So, Siziwe, come and stand with me, come. Siziwe has done so much for the network. And when I say nurtured, she's really nurtured the network. She's made sure that, we try to move towards our vision. She's really managed us, okay? Both at the Secretariat, but even beyond the Secretariat. Now, the reason we're celebrating Siziwe is that she's taking on a bigger portfolio, and that will make her not very available to us in the network, not in a bad way. She remains a member, and she really will remain, her expertise will continue to support us. There'll be somebody in her current portfolio, but she won't be away, okay? But we would like to celebrate the years that she has spent with us. So Siziwe sits at the Secretariat, so you will know that the network is hosted by PACE. And so I will ask Lawrence to come and say something to Siziwe on all our behalf.
I think we can actually sit down. Yes. Yes. Well, we're here.
Don't cry.
Don't worry. I'll try to keep it together, don't worry. 8 years of co-leading the AEN, and you have left very, very, very big shoes for us. You'll see from the announcement that we had to find seven chairs to fill your big shoes. And I think that's a testimony to your leadership and what you've built and how you've led with kindness and care. And to give an example of the care, if you look at the picture, if the slide can come back up, on the top left, you'll see the surprise that all of the AEN and the PACE staff had in their rooms in Cotonou. So Ziva had put together a starter pack for all of us with a little note with energy for the 3 days to get us here.
Yeah.
And that is how Siziwe leads. Like, she looks after people. She's looked after this network, after this community. And you like to surprise us. So hopefully today we can also surprise you a little bit. So from that we know you like a good hamper, with a lot of goodies. So I believe the colleagues from ASET have kindly helped us out with a hamper that Charity has and can bring on stage now with some local goods from Benin. So this is your first gift from us.
Well done.
Well, And you know, you really have led, and you have built this community, and you've built many of us as individuals. You found me writing a newsletter for the AEN that maybe went to 80 people. I think now our mailing list is closer to 10,000. You found Andile straight out of undergrad. She's now the chair of the Africa Evidence Youth League, and we would be here the whole day if I would go on of how you've mentored and built many of us. But when you do that, you know, you sit us down in your calm way, and there has to be one thing in order to mentor us. There has to be really good, nice coffee out of a good coffee mug. So I believe we have some mugs for you, Hector. Yeah. And of course, this wouldn't be complete without talking about evidence, right? So where's the evidence of Siziwe's leadership? Well, it is here in this room. Yeah. It is in the numbers. It is in the feelings. We went from 3,000 members when you took over to now 6,000 members. You have taken this event from Pretoria, where you live, all the way to Entebbe, and now you've taken it to Cotonou. You've made it bilingual. You've grown this community. We have a youth league. And you've increased the funders from a single foundation to now 7 funders. So if we talk about evidence of your leadership, I don't think it gets much better. And for that, I think we have a visual evidence in how you've led this network for us. So Lutfia, if you could come up. And I think there's not much left to say apart from, I think, from the bottom of our heart, you've nurtured us, you've nurtured this community. We wouldn't be here without you. A big, big thank you. Ngiyabonga kakhulu.
Thank you very much. Thank you so, so much. And Siziwe, we celebrate you. Thank you for all you've done for the network. And don't leave us. Yeah. Okay. I guess it's just about the right time then for us to know, okay, Siziwe is out of the way. What happens next, okay? So you all took part in a process a few months ago to try and shape the governance of the network. We will see then who these people are that will be supporting the chair. So in the past, we've had the chair. You can't hear me? So you did take part in a process to try and shape the governance of this network. So we will find out who our chairs are. These are the people that will be working with the main chair. So in the past, we've just had the chair, kind of working with the director and the people at the secretariat. But just before that, I think surely we should have heard from Siziwe, right? She should have said something to us. Yeah. I feel like the tears have now gone down a little bit. Yeah? Come. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have let you go first, but yeah, let's hear at least a minute from Siziwe, and then we'll see the chairs that will come in to support the regional chairs that will come in to support the chair. Siziwe. Yeah?
Oh my. Greetings, everyone. Yeah, a salad of emotions at this point. But I think I had thought about what I'm going to say when they said I'll have this opportunity. So standing here today with the AEN logo behind me and the community, and also before me, beside me, all around me, I am filled with so much gratitude and humility. Because without you, this network will not become what it became. If you're not responding to my emails, my WhatsApps, my sliding into your DMs, nothing would have really happened. To now speak in this last evidence event, in this role, is the moment really of gratitude and reflection on my side. There's one African proverb that I thought, sums all this up. How long the night, the dawn will break. So today feels both a dawn and a dusk. So a closing of a chapter for me and an opening of a new one for the Africa Evidence Network. And I know you're going to soar higher and higher and become the greatest network that we've ever become. And I hope that as I step down from this position, all of you felt our warmth, you felt our love, you felt that the work that you do wherever you are is very important and we appreciate it. So thank you very much everyone for supporting me during this tenure. If it was not for you, I wouldn't be here today. So thank you very much and I appreciate all of you.
Thank you very much. And on that note, I'll start to unveil the chairs that you have chosen to work with me. So let's see. Who do we have first? Okay. So these will form the Council of Chairs, but as you already know, they are regional chairs. Let me go for the Western chair as you know, these slides come up. Some of us have not met these people before, and so we quickly had their profiles there. There won't be much time to read through all the profiles, but hopefully, as you see their faces, you will be able to interact with them later. So for the Central African region, Dr. Patrick Okwen, will you come just to the front so that everybody is able to see you? Okay, and I hope that we can all, from wherever we are able to read, those profiles. They're long because these are well-accomplished people, aren't they? That's why you chose them. Okay, just stand here. We won't take too long. Okay, who's my next chair? Okay, Josephine, Dr. Josephine Watera. She will be the chair for the East African region. And again, we're using these regions, but I don't want you to silo up, okay? This is really to make it manageable, but don't silo up in those regions and fail to reach out. Okay, let's see. After Josephine, we have Kashofs, okay? Kashofs for the West African region. Okay, yay! Okay, let's continue. Who's next? There we are. Jennifer, Dr. Jennifer Oparekumi for the Southern African region. Fantastic choices from you guys. Okay, let's see who's missing here. There we are, Alpha. Yes. Who better than Alpha, yeah? For the North African region. Okay, let's see. Okay, Penka, okay? The youth are very, very well represented, okay? So this is not a council where you have, just the older, people sitting and talking about what used to happen in the 60s. Okay, you're very welcome, Penka, okay? And the global. So we are not forgetting, we have friends of Africa. We're doing this for Africa, but we have so many friends. And who better than Shelly Ann? Okay? Very, very happy to have you, Shelly Ann, and thank you for stepping up. So there's two other members of the council. They are ex-officios. So Siziwe is a representative of, the director who would be a part of the council as well. So whoever will be in Siziwe's position, managing the network, will be an ex-officio of the council, but also the founding chair has humbly agreed, to be part of this as an ex-officio. She's unable to join us in Cotonou, but certainly somewhere online, she's listening in. And so she'll continue to be an ex-officio member of the council. So this is your Council of Chairs, and I will be sort of just facilitating them, sort of cheering them on as you work very, very closely with them. They've given of themselves. This is not a remunerated, sort of position. So these are people giving of their time, giving of their expertise. And what we are expecting of them, give me my next slide, please. Next slide. Next. Okay. So it's generally a new body. We haven't had this before today or before now, okay? Again, let's move together. We are learning what is it that's best for the network in terms of governance. We might make a few mistakes as we go along. We are hoping that you help us shape that, because after them, one of you is joining, one of you is becoming this. So help us make it work. So it's a new body of the network that is aimed at strengthening our governance processes, while also ensuring a member-driven approach, okay? So we really want to reach into the regions. We want to reach you. And, being a single chair, it has been very difficult to reach as far as we wanted to reach. So the council, part of it is to ensure that whatever we're doing is actually driven by what you would want to see as the network. So they're responsible for appointing the next director, or for guiding that process that will get us a next director, that will get us, the next Siziwe. They're also responsible for developing and monitoring the strategy. So we do have a strategy. They're going to look at it again and say, is this fit for purpose? Okay, will this drive us into the next, sort of decade or whatever time? They'll look at the mission and the vision, and again, they'll work to ensure that what we have is fit for purpose. They obviously have a duty to advocate for the network, outside the network, but even within the network. There are many things that, many of us maybe want to contribute, but we feel the secretariat might be far, your chairs are very near you, and obviously we will be looking for funds and other sorts of resources, and that's under their portfolio. Generally, at the end of the day, we would like to see better impact at the network, and who better than this Council of Chairs? So join me again in welcoming the Council of Chairs. Okay, so really, let's try and wrap this up, okay? It is just a huge congratulations from me. Congratulations to you all for getting to this point of the conference. Kashof says, greeting constituents. Okay, so really congratulations again, for getting to this point of the conference. It's been a hectic number of days, right? But hoping that you have found it as fruitful as I have. I was looking forward to hearing about your work, making new connections and getting inspired. I have done all of that and even more. Thank you for making it happen. I really want to thank Fregis. Is he in the room? I haven't. Yeah, there you are. Really, Fregis and the team at ASED, thank you so much for hosting us very, very beautifully. Thank you so much. Of course, thank you to the folks at PACE that host our secretariat, Lawrence, Siziwe, the whole team from PACE. I don't think everybody knows them. Do you want to stand up and wave so people know where the engine is, who's running this thing? Everybody from PACE, Hector, okay? Well done, guys. Thank you so much for making this, happen year in, year out, Of course, the events persons in the background, some of them are here, some of them are not. Michelle, Paolo, and others, the events people from Benin, okay? You've seen the fantastic ladies who've been, the hostesses who've been chauffeuring us around. Can they wave? They'll represent, there they are, okay? The drivers who've taken us between the hotels who are taking us to all these places. Thank you so much, okay? The hotel management, obviously, the entertainment group, somebody take the message back that we are really, really, the vibe there. So we just say thank you so much. And of course, a special, special shout out to our Latin American family. Yeah? Where you? Can you get up and wave? Yeah? Thank you so much. For you to show up so strong like that to be with us is not a small signal. We hope we will get a chance, to give back to you in the same way. Of course, our colleagues from elsewhere around the world who've joined us physically, but also online, thank you for giving your time and being part of this network. But most of all, I want to thank, each one of you for coming out to the conference, and to those online as well. Thank you so much. We would not be a complete network, without times like this where we connect, in person, but also more closely. I think I've learned about more work than I would have, over the next maybe 6 months. But in these number of days, we've been able to connect and share with each other. It's a sacrifice in terms of time, in terms of cost. Many of you leave your families behind, little children and all sorts of people, care duties, to be able to be, at places like this. So thank you very much for, giving of yourselves. I would like to take the opportunity to remind you that you're part of the largest Africa-focused evidence-informed decision-making network, the Africa Evidence Network. It is now 13 years old and has grown to over 5,000 members. So you're in the room, we look like we're just a few. Actually, we're only representatives of a very, very large family of 5,000 people. And these are numbers that we have checked again. You all would have, re-registered, over the last few months. So these are people who are actually part of the network and very active. And that means we should be looking for them as well to connect. Our vision is very simple. We want to see an end to poverty and inequality in Africa. Okay, that's for everything that we try to do. That is what we're trying to drive at. And so we will work with others to achieve this by increasing the use of evidence in decision making. The strategy, and I hope that all of you, if I picked one person out of there, if you don't know the strategy, you're going to go to the website and remind yourself. Because I know someday when you were making up your mind, to join the network, you did look at it. But the strategy for each of us is to foster collaboration among those engaged in all supporting evidence-informed decision-making in Africa, okay? It is also to increase knowledge and understanding of evidence-informed decision-making in Africa. I was listening to the winners, the award winners, and they were saying, this is one thing they want to do. I want to go back and advocate for this. So we really want we want each one of us to increase knowledge and to increase the understanding. Many people out there have no idea what we're talking about. Evidence, you say evidence, and they're like, in the court? Is there a problem? So we really need to, right from, evidence is used by everybody. So we need to increase that knowledge and understanding. We need to share the capacities that we have. Many of us are very privileged, to be either in organizations or to have had a hand hold us, and we're in a better place, we have better capacities. But in many places, somebody said we shouldn't be saying the word capacity building. I think that is to bury our heads in the sand. In many places, we're only starting to build certain capacities. In other places, we're privileged, so we sort of kind of just strengthen and develop, okay? But for us to think that every space, especially on this continent, is actually just needing strengthening is for us to forget some of the spaces that we're in. Okay, there are places where there's nothing, and we need to build those capacities. As a network, I will be expecting that all of us will be looking for an opportunity to build somebody's capacity, to strengthen it, and to develop it. And lastly, we need to improve the enabling context by promoting and advocating evidence-informed decision-making in Africa. Of course, additionally, each of us has a responsibility to ensure that the network's own organization excellence is actually that we are a network of excellence. My hope is that our new chairs will make it so much easier for us to stay connected. Please do work with them. They have volunteered their time and expertise, and my hope is that they will find it a fruitful journey with your help. To the Youth League, you have had a fantastic 2 years already, and you have made us proud. Keep building your vision, and we're here to help as we pass on the mantle. I will reiterate my call to action from the first day. 4 things I asked of you, and 4 things I still ask of you as you leave Benin. I saw them posted on a few platforms, and they had kind of been tweaked, but they lose the message. I will reiterate and ask each one of you. It's a call to action from the chair. First, please listen. Listen across silos. I'm not talking about breaking silos. That's a whole other, animal. And these silos will not be broken in one day. It's a process. So as we work towards that, and there are silos also that will never be broken, okay? But what can we do? We need to listen across silos. And that is what I beg of you. Policymakers, listen to researchers to your communities. And the youth, please do listen to those going before you, while those going before you should make space for you as well. Please listen across silos as we attempt to break them. Bridge the divides, please, between the data-rich and data-poor communities, regional and national levels, Francophone to Anglophone to our Spanish and Portuguese-speaking Africa. Can we bridge those divides and work together? To institutionalize evidence. I think sometimes we say this word over and over again and it just loses meaning. Institutions, okay? Can we actually think about it? Let's see evidence in budgets. Let's see it in processes. Let's see it in our culture, and not just in academic and formal conversations like these. And lastly, can we accelerate youth leadership? Okay? Again, somebody said sometimes as a broker, as I speak to the policymakers, they sort of look at me like, does he know what he's talking about? Okay? Can we accelerate youth leadership because they are the future of evidence-informed Africa? Sometimes I joke with my friends and, we remember the times we're in school and they kept saying, in future you will do this, you're preparing for your future. Now we are so worried that the future is even behind us, okay? The times that we had to be able to impact are becoming less and less, okay? The future is not too far. Can we accelerate youth leadership to ensure that evidence-informed Africa will be a reality? And with that, I wish you all a good rest. I wish you all a good rest of your stay in the beautiful Cotonou, and safe travels back home. I ask you not to go back to business as usual, but to hit the ground running, taking things forward, taking all the lessons you've learned from this conference forward. I hope to see you again in 2027 in Cameroon. Have we thought about where we want to go after Cotonou? Not yet? Yeah, Tunis? Okay. We have some time, but I can't think of any place I wouldn't want to be in beautiful Africa. Merci beaucoup et à bientôt.
Thank you, Dr. Rona. And now, to officially close Evidence 2025, it is my great pleasure to invite Mr. Frigyes Toto, Executive Director of ACED, to deliver the closing remarks. He's almost there. Can we help?
Rona, thank you very much for helping me. Je pense qu'après Rona, je ne vais pas prendre beaucoup de temps. Elle a déjà fait une très bonne synthèse et surtout les perspectives que nous avons pour le réseau. C'est vraiment le moment pour moi de dire waouh, c'était pas gagné d'avance. Laurence me rappelait que nous avons pris pas la décision, mais nous avons parlé de l'idée de tenir cette édition de Evidence 2025 en Ouganda autour d'un déjeuner. On ne savait pas si c'était possible, mais on l'a fait. Et on ne l'a pas fait simplement, on l'a fait avec la plus grande envergure. C'est la première fois, comme je le disais, à l'entame de cette édition que nous avons eu autant de personnes. C'est la première fois que nous avons eu un programme aussi chargé, mais je crois que dans l'ensemble, de ce que j'ai entendu quand même, de presque tous ceux avec qui j'ai parlé, tout s'est probablement bien passé. Et je suis content que les sessions les plus intéressantes ne sont pas forcément les sessions techniques, mais c'était par exemple le dîner du premier jour. N'est-ce pas? Et ça me rappelle ce que le professeur Ruth Siwat disait de Evidence, que ce n'est pas forcément un événement où on vient pour rediscuter entre nous encore techniciens, mais c'est aussi une célébration de la question des données probantes, de la question des évidences. Donc, une fois encore, le Bénin a donné l'opportunité à cette communauté de célébrer. Je voudrais vraiment remercier tous ceux qui ont travaillé ardemment pour l'organisation de cet événement. Toute l'équipe de ACED qui a travaillé jour et nuit pour qu'on soit là, pour que tout se passe très bien. Vous avez eu la chance de voir l'équipe, vous allez voir qu'il nous reste encore un peu de temps pour atteindre 50 ans. Mais l'équipe a vraiment fait le nécessaire pour que ce soit un bon événement, ce soit un bel événement. Merci aussi à tous nos partenaires, surtout de PES, avec qui on a eu tellement de réunions, tellement d'échanges. Merci à tous les autres qui ont contribué, ce n'était pas nous seuls. Des prestataires jusqu'à l'hôtel, ce n'était pas une expérience aussi... C'est pas simple, ça paraît simple de prendre son avion, de venir, de passer 3 jours et de rentrer, mais les mois avant ça, c'est pas simple. C'est pas simple et c'est le moment vraiment de célébrer ce que nous avons pu faire et on espère que la prochaine édition sera encore plus grande, qu'on aura encore plus de participants, qu'il y aura plus de débats et que nous allons évoluer beaucoup plus vers les solutions. Donc, je nous souhaite bon retour à chacun de vous dans vos pays. Bonne visite à ceux qui pourront faire la visite. Malheureusement, pour des questions logistiques, tout le monde ne pourra pas. Mais j'ai été content de voir que des gens ont fait leur arrangement personnel. Certains ont pu faire des courses dans la ville. Donc, presque tout le monde a essayé de faire quelque chose. Et on est très content d'avoir abrité cette édition. Et bon retour à chacun de vous. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Fréjus, et merci à vous tous. Merci de nous avoir honorés de votre présence. Merci pour votre participation active, votre énergie. Et le déjeuner est ouvert. Je ne vais pas prendre beaucoup de votre temps. I know everybody is hungry and excited for the visit. So, le déjeuner sera dans le restaurant. Nous n'avons pas beaucoup de temps, donc si vous participez aux activités, le tour de Ouida, il faudra revenir ici à 14h30. Do I need to say that in English? No, I think. Am I English speaking? Do you need me to repeat it in English? Yes? Okay, so I was just saying lunch is already ready. So please, if you are participating to the activities, especially the WIDA tour, please come back here in around 2:30, so that's 2:30, so we can get going because we are short on time. If you are instead doing the bicycle tour, then the gathering is at 4:30 p.m. If you have any other question, you can ask us around the reception. Thank you very much and safe travels.